All right, our next exercise is going to be the planche lean. Planche being French for plank, so it's being in a plank position and leaning forward. The farther your shoulders get out in front of your hands while you're holding the spine in proper position and the shoulder blades in proper position, the harder this one gets. We can, just like with the plank, we can make it easier by going to the knees, by elevating your hands. You can go up some stairs if you need to. You can be on a wall. You can be up on a chair. If you have higher parallettes, you can do that. Stack some books. Or you can go to your knees is another way to make this easier. To make it harder, you can always elevate your feet. I wouldn't elevate my feet any higher than my shoulders when my arms are locked out. That's where you'll be at sort of the maximal level of body weight resistance. The way to make this one significantly harder also is the farther forward you lean. So what you're going to do is you're going to get into a plank position, but we're going to go wider with the hands. So whereas in a plank, a regular plank, I would have my hands directly underneath my shoulders or roughly there. In a planche lean, I'm going to go a bit wider. All right. I'm also, in a plank, I would normally have my fingertips faced forward. In a planche lean, I'm going to be turning my hands out to the side some. This is because the lean forward here, unless you have really good wrist flexibility, it's probably your wrist flexibility is going to be the limiting factor once you're of a certain strength level. So I'm going to be demonstrating these with mini parallettes. You can, of course, use yoga blocks. You can use full parallettes. You can use anything. In this particular case, this makes it a little bit easier on the wrists. When I get into this position, I'm going to be turning the parallettes out so they make a bit of a Y. This also makes it easier to lean forward. Once I get into this position, I'm going to get into my plank position. I'm going to round still, spread my shoulder blades apart, pull my belly button to my spine, and then I'm going to slide forward, 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 until I get far enough forward that I'm getting a bit of a face plant feel. From there, I'm going to hold for the designated time. You'll just have to count to yourself unless you have a timer. Again, a rough approximation of the time is fine. If you're off by a second or two in either direction, that's fine. I think you're going to be very surprised if you've never done these before by how difficult they are. Now, some of you may not be able to do this even at an easier variation where, say, you're elevated and on your knees, you may just not be able to feel this one or just not working for you. And this would be an example of elevating into the position to make it easier. For you, or perhaps you're just having trouble getting your shoulder blades to do what you're asking them to do. For people like that, I'm going to have you do scapular push-ups. So in a scapular push-up, what I'll have you do is I'll have you get into that plank position. And I'm actually going to have you start on your knees, even if a knee plank is fairly easy for you. Because the idea here is I want you to really be able to feel what you're doing. And in this, I'm doing a push-up, but you'll notice that my elbows don't bend at all. I am just spreading my shoulder blades apart, trying to pinch them together. I'm not dropping my belly as I do this. I'm pulling my belly button to my spine, and I'm going up and down in that push-up. Once you get that feeling, you can start to play with going to the full plank and doing it. But again, don't let the belly sag. You want to maintain that nice hollow back position and get used to knowing exactly where your shoulder blades need to be. If you're doing these for repetitions, because it's such a small range of motion here, I'd look more like the 10 to 15 rep range for these. And really what you're doing is developing a mind-muscle connection that will teach you how to get your shoulder blades in the right place for this and strengthen some of the supporting muscles for the planche lean. But there are a bunch of planche lean options for you. Choose the appropriate one for you. You may have to play with this one a bit if you've never done it before. I would suggest video recording yourself and taking a look at it also, because what you may think, wow, I'm really far forward, and you're an inch or two forward. You may think, oh, I'm in the perfect position, and the shoulder blades are poking up or your belly is sagging to the ground. So this is a really good one because this is going to be a new exercise hold for many of you. It'll be a really, really good one for you to be able to see what's going on with your body and adapt accordingly. All right, I'll see you in the next video.